A couple of months ago, the garden was kind of a mess, and I definitely felt behind coming into this season. I needed to do a lot of weeding and planting of our main spring veggies, and also I always add a lot of mulch and compost this time of year. And I often forget how hard it is to get some of those things done in between the last of the winter storms and then we get a steady amount of rain. It's a little bit frustrating and discouraging. But thankfully, the weather eventually cleared and we got our major spring crops planted and made some progress on getting the garden ready for summer. I am always amazed at how much can get done in the garden with just a couple of hours a day. We rarely ever spend like a full day out in the garden. It's more of a cumulative effort over time that makes a garden successful. I planted blueberries a few years ago and I just got some more. When I planted my blueberries a couple of years ago, I planted both rabbit eye blueberries and northern highbush. I'm technically in an area where I could be able to grow both. However, most of my rabbit eye blueberries have not thrived, and so I am replacing a lot of them with the northern highbush. Initially, one of the varieties that really stood out to me right away with the northern highbush was Chandler, so I got some more of those. And the other one that does well in my area, because I know this because when I go to my U-Pick, I asked them, what varieties do you have? And they said, we have Chandler and we have Blue Crop. So I got those two, and then I have several other varieties that I got because I want to be able to extend the season. Some fruit a little bit earlier and some fruit a little bit later, and some are right in like the normal blueberry average season. Hopefully I can get a more continuous spread of blueberries throughout the year because I absolutely love blueberries. They're my favorite, along with, well, every other berry plant. My opinion is so good. So I'm really excited for these. It will be a couple of years before these really start to bear fruit. We're transplanting lettuce, celery, and cabbage from the soil blocks where they were into the ground, and that is also going to free up the soil block trays because I have a lot of warm season crops that I need to seed in those wooden trays that I have. I don't have an unlimited supply, so I need to free up some space and start on seeding some more of the warm season crops in there. So we're gonna get compost on the garden beds, and then we're gonna measure out where we want everything and we're gonna plant.
Yes! Yeah! Woo! Yeah!
Another half bucket. One more half bucket I think will do the trick. What is going on?
And then, oh, that's one. Which coins?
I'm super pumped because today is a really big seed starting day. It's always a lot of fun for me. I've got my seed starting mix right here, and then I've got my seeds, and I am transporting it because it is heavy. But the kids are gonna come out and join me in a little bit because they also want to start some seeds for their gardens as well. The majority is gonna be in soil blocks, and I'll probably use all of my seed starting mix and all of my soil block trays today.
Okay, so I have everything planted buying cosmic candies.
It's been a couple of hours. The kids just wrapped up their seed starting and I am now working on mine, but I am hitting a wall here and feeling really tired, so I'm gonna go in and grab a chair so I can sit while I do this, and then grab some food and then come back out and finish up because I really want to finish this up today. Got my chair and I even brought a little seat cushion thing. That's better. As far as planting tomatoes goes, I usually make sure that I have at least 50% of my tomato seedlings be some kind of paste tomato. It doesn't matter what variety. I really like the determinate varieties because they all bear at once, so it makes it really easy for me to can everything at once, because that's what my paste tomatoes are for. They're all for canning. We also do a lot of the fresh eating tomatoes, but just not as many because it takes so much longer to preserve those if you do have extras. Kids grow a lot in their gardens, so I really only need to grow a few of those, and most of the family garden is going to be those paste tomatoes. So I'm really trying to pare down this year, keep things as simple as possible because the baby's gonna come and I know my time is gonna be so limited and I don't want to be stressed out. I want to enjoy it, so I'm trying to just keep it to like the bare minimum of what we need for the year and no more than that. I have officially ran out of seed starting mix, so that's gonna wrap up how many soil trays I can do. I still need to seed them. I just wanted to get all of them made so that it would be easy to just go ahead and seed them all at the same time. So I'm gonna do that tonight, and then tomorrow I will make some more of that soil and finish up everything else I had planned. We're planting our year supply of potatoes. We're doing 2 90-foot garden beds. This is what I've always done in the past, and it's been just the right amount, enough for us to eat and a little bit extra to have for seed for the next year. I'm really glad to have some helpers today because this is a really hard job. It's a lot of digging. We dig a trench to plant the potatoes in because it has better results for us here where we are in the south. I know in other areas you can do more of like a no-dig potato growing situation where you can just set them on the top and set like hay on the top and keep building. That has not done very well for us where we live, so we just get way better yields if we're digging a trench and putting it down into the clay soil, and it keeps the plant a lot cooler, and so we get better yields that way.
Okay. Yeah, we can find you one. There's extras.
Because when I was doing my laundry and I let Jack put his with mine.
I'm a little bit behind on my weeding, so that's what I'm working on today. So we have an entire row of asparagus, 90 feet long. It is starting to pop up, and I can't see it very well because I have not done a very good job managing the weeds. So I'm going to clear out all the weeds, and then we are going to cover the whole thing with some wood chip mulch so that we don't have to worry about weeds for the rest of the season. It took me a very long time to weed the asparagus, especially because some of them were already popping up, and I had the kids go ahead and harvest what was there because I was afraid we would just nick them all anyway. This was definitely not a quick job. It took me a couple of days to get everything cleared out and ready for the mulch. I've been working on the weeding for the asparagus the last couple of days, and we're almost done. It was a little bit tougher than usual because we have a lot of tap-rooted weeds like the dandelions and the onions, so I had to like really dig them out by hand before I could do any surface sort of hoeing. Almost done, but now I have Cam and the kids to do the stuff that takes a lot of muscle and do a lot of the mulch for the garden.
Yeah.
And help out, which will be really nice.
And you're just gonna sit back and tell us what to do.
I think I'm gonna finish weeding while you guys do that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right here. Sure. I don't know. Whatever, you know. And then it's weather.
Why is that so big?
It's been feasting on mulch.
They're full. We need to dump these now.
That is crazy.
Are you getting a video?
Yeah, look, looks like a snake. It's so big.
Yeah, you were like, whoa.
I did not know there was a such thing as that big of an earthworm. Wow.
It was really like active and.
Wow.
Side without the women's consent.
Yeah, team effort today. We're putting down some mulch next to the peas. I spent a lot of time hand weeding all of the peas and the carrots next to it. It was really hard to see. So I want to get that mulch so that we don't have to do very much weeding after this. Yeah. Now move forward a little bit. Or back, maybe.
I'll move backwards.
Yeah. I'll just hand spread it out. I think a rake is gonna ruin stuff. We're making quick work of this job. It's only been a half an hour and we're almost done. I only did 3 rows of peas that I weeded. I still need to weed the other one before we put mulch down. So we're like almost done. Chris is cleaning out his shoes. He's got mulch in there. The only thing I didn't really think through very well when I planted this stuff was I planted the peas, which pop up really fast and you can see them really well. And then I planted the carrots and lettuce, which you can't hardly see. And I want to cover it with mulch so I don't have to weed. But then if I cover it too much with mulch, then the carrots and lettuce get covered too. So the kids are just like lightly shaking it out and I may have to go back and like uncover some stuff so that they can still get some light. So we also got this new wagon here. That's pretty cool because I wanted one that was just big enough that it could go down the aisles but not onto any of the plants. And it works perfect. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he does.
Oh, you got